Previously on Voice Wars.
Our first challenge is called Vocal Combat.
You're so inspired, and you want to paint each other, but the other person keeps moving!
Humans. They are but stubborn and foolish. It takes a journey to hell for them to accept and praise their god.
And suddenly, the air turns really thick, like mac and cheese.
Are you ready?
Yes.
That's dedication.
I'm ready.
Let's use this pistol here and finish you off. But where's the sport in that?
The winner of the first challenge is Lisa Marie Lee.
What?
Our bottom two, unfortunately, are Walt Allen and Jack Calk.
It's about rising to the occasion. It's about tasting the rapture and triumph and disgrace of failure.
To win, one has to lose. The difference between the novice and the master is that the master has failed more times than the novice has tried.
We have a result. Walt Allen, you're safe. Jack Calk, I look forward to seeing whatever you do in the future.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, Jack!
Well done.
Hello, my Voice Wars competitors! Congratulations on surviving the first round of competition. Y'all did great on the first challenge. And especially congratulations to our winner of our first challenge, Miss Lisa Marie Lee.
Thank you.
Now, unfortunately, I have an announcement to make. As of this moment, the teams will be experiencing a merger of sorts. We will be narrowing this competition from 4 teams to 2. The first team will be Team Kaiji Tang and Team Ratana merging to form Team Katana.
Team Katana, because we're gonna cut you like a knife.
Oh, damn.
Oh my god.
And the other team will be Team Brad Venable and Team Chris Tergliafera merging to form Team Bragliafera.
Bragliafera.
Now hear me, mine thespians. Thy next challenge is entitled The Voice of the Bard. Each team shall be given a tale written by the master playwright himself, William Shakespeare. Thou shalt work on thine script with thine teammates and prepare the scene to be played next week. But beware! Another mystery judge shall appear in a week's time, and they shall decide what genre thine piece shall be performed in. Team Katana, you shall be given a 3-person scene from Julius Caesar.
Woo!
Well chosen.
Yes.
And Team Bragliafera, you shall be given a 4-person scene from Twelfth Night.
Huzzah!
At 2, Aiden.
Good luck, mine gladiators, and may the chosen team be the one who sits upon the throne.
Has everyone hiked their leg to their particular part in this scene?
I kind of jumped the gun on calling Sir Toby, but I'm open to any part if anybody wants any part. I just like the fact the guy's last name is Belch.
Yeah.
So
The fun name.
Man after my own taste.
I'm not going to get any more mature. So I don't want to live in a world where farts and belches aren't funny.
You know what? I can accept. That is pretty good. I applaud you, sir.
Thank you.
I don't know if everybody saw the chat, but
Yeah.
Turg's on his way, said start without him.
So if he's doing Sir Toby Belch, does that mean am I going to do Malvolio then, or is there's a Sir Andrew Aguacheek as well? Aguacheek. I don't know, I kind of like the Malvolio at the start.
Is it okay if I take Maria?
Since you said it first, Abby. Yeah.
Oh.
You can
Okay.
have Maria.
Okay.
We want to make sure everyone's comfortable. Okay, could someone give me a rundown of this scene? Because I'm actually not entirely sure.
Okay, I can do that.
Go for
Okay,
it.
Sir Toby is a cousin of the lady of the house who's not in this scene, and Malvolio works for the lady of the house. Toby and Sir Andrew are downstairs with the fool, who's in the scene but was taken out of our scene. They're all getting drunk, and they're singing and being very, very loud. And Maria comes out to chastise them, but then she kind of gets pulled into the drunken party and everything. So then Malvolio comes out to tell them to shut up, be quiet, and you're being very rude, and how dare you. Sir Toby is actually like trying to fleece a bunch of money from Sir Andrew. Is kind of like why he's being buddy-buddy with him. But he's like, they're just like really, really drunk. And then like they hatch this plan to get Malvolio to try and look stupid in front of the Countess or whoever she is.
It's fun.
Typical Shakespeare tomfoolery.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's a good scene, and if played right, it can be very, very funny.
So you guys want to run that and see what happens?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might as well.
I'm the Belcher.
You are the Belcher.
Okay.
Yes, you are.
He's got a soda.
He's got soda. Nice.
I love it.
Okay, let's go.
Do ye make an alehouse of my lady house? That ye squeak out your cozy as cat without any mitigation of remorse of voice? Is there no respect of place, persons, nor time in you?
We did keep time, sir, in our catches. Snack up.
If you guys really commit to just dogging the shit out of Malvolio, because that's the whole point. After you guys, it's like, he up our entire thing. Well, screw him. We're gonna pull a prank on his ass. Hey, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, welcome.
I got here. I actually was able to hear the whole thing. One thing I would say is just in Shakespeare in general. Make sure that even if it is a bit bigger, that there is truth to what you're saying. It is done on stage in that, but don't be as, even if it's Shakespeare, so it's not like one of those things like get the point of the thing across. Be more concerned with how it feels rather than how it sounds.
Yes. Like Sean, I think if you take the voice down more into a natural place within your register, and then just bloviate and just be generally offended at everything, and just resolute in your offendedness, it comes off as so relatable. It's like, oh, it's that mother I know. Oh my God. And there's the humor, is the relatability of the audience. Let's have layers of drunkenness.
That's a very good point. Whenever I first...
Yeah, you could be the most off-key of all the singers, and then you're the one who throws out the accusation that, that was off-key. And that's funny.
Okay.
That's dramatic irony that you play.
Okay.
Just as a general note, being under a substance of, well, especially drunkenness, because drunk people do not want you to know they're drunk. So they're doing everything they can to hide it back.
Okay.
Because think about so many people, it's like, are you drunk? No, I'm not drunk. This is how I feel right now. Really the only people that talk about like, oh, I feel so drunk are like high schoolers doing it for the first time.
Why don't we run it again?
We did keep time, sir, in our catches. Snack up.
I must be round with you. My lady bade me tell you that though she harbors you as her kinsman, she's nothing allied to your disorders.
Farewell, dear heart, since I must needs be gone.
Hey, good Sir Toby.
His eyes do show his days are almost done.
Oh man, that was fun.
I really enjoyed it. I'm very much in the school of thought. If I don't have notes, I'm not going to make any up. I thought y'all were right in the pocket.
Yep.
And yeah, I think just because obviously, we play like we practice and all that, but then we're going to get in there and it's going to be, you might be underwater.
Breathing macaroni.
Eating macaroni.
Shit.
With everything, though, like, make sure there are levels. Make sure you don't lose sight of the scene. Make the direction add to the scene.
Exactly.
Rather than dominate it.
Okay.
I don't even think you need to do it again. I just think that, keeping it fresh is probably the best situation.
Yeah, good to see you guys again.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Lily and Nicole, it's lovely to meet you. I'm Ratana.
Hello.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Retina is fantastic.
Hey,
Hello,
Sarah.
You guys got the script correct from Adin. It's Julius Caesar. It's first act, scene 2. Generally, when you act and you have an audience, right? Generally, you have the advantage of everyone knows the same spoken language you're trying to communicate your story with. So even if your acting falters in some bits and pieces, you sort of have the words to rely on. But the interesting thing about Shakespeare is, even though it's technically English, right? If you just let the audience sort of rely on their ears, more often than not, I'll venture to say, they'll have no idea what's happening, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit like English as a second language.
Mm-hmm.
So you hear it and it floats over you for a little while, and then all of a sudden you start to get it.
If the actor is good, they will be aiding, they will be letting the words float on the emotions of the scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Shakespeare, it's almost like, this is gonna sound super weird unless you play fighting games. It's like super basic footsies, right? So it's just you distill acting down into its essence, and you should be able to carry Shakespeare even if the audience doesn't know what's happening by the words, right?
Yeah.
By your mannerisms, by your energy.
Exactly. Your intention and your
Yes.
emotion
Yes.
are what's gonna carry the scene.
So Retna and I came up with sort of a game plan while we were waiting. The best course of action to make use of the time we have is to break down the scene real quick and just sort of take notes and kind of mark off what's happening at each line. So if that's cool with everyone, we open up our...
a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I read this since high school.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, same here.
Retna, would you like to start us off by describing what's happening on the first page or so?
Basically, what's happening is they've just observed what Caesar's been doing, and they're talking about him. They want to know, dudes, WTF is happening right now.
So yeah, they figure out he has epilepsy.
Mm-hmm.
Cassius is starting to ply them a little bit because his goal is to get both of them on his side.
Right.
So he's like, oh, I don't know about us and our futures. He starts to sow the seeds now. He says before he had the seizure, he offered the crowd his throat to cut, right? And that drove him crazy. That was like, oh no, Caesar, we love you. We would never do that. And then he fell, and so much does the crowd love Caesar that even as he's falling, they're throwing their worship and love upon him. And Casca describes that with sort of he's grossed out by that fact because he does not want this. It's not that Casca or Brutus hate Caesar. It's not that. It's just they don't think he should be.
Yeah.
And then Casca throws Cicero on the bus, and Cassius asks, hey, did Cicero say anything else? Cassius like, yeah, but he was speaking Greek, couldn't understand really what he was saying. And that leads us into the end of the scene. Cassius wants to have Casca over for dinner to talk more on this. Brutus is saying that Casca is way more blunt than he used to be in school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Cassius plies Brutus a little bit more. He's like, you're about the same standing as Caesar. People should be cheering your name too.
Right.
Snakes
Just
down.
a little appeal to the ego.
And at the very end, Cassius has this big little block where he basically admits to the audience, it's like, hey, I'm going to try to ply Brutus, right, to get him on my side. Because Brutus is so noble that if he sees that the citizens of Rome prefer him over Caesar, he will try to do the right thing in his mind and put Caesar down.
Yep.
So Cassius is like, yeah, I'm gonna make these pamphlets. I'm gonna draw these pamphlets and make it look like the people of Rome support Brutus instead of Caesar.
And you see this play out in modern politics all the time. This is not new.
My only question is, who do you guys want to play who?
I'm fine either way.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a huge fan of Cassius.
Yeah, then take Cassius, and then Sarah, would you take Casca? And that will leave Lily for Brutus.
Do we want to do a read through?
Yeah, let's do a stumble through.
Yeah.
why there was a crown to offer him, and being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand thus, and then the people fell a-shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too. They shouted thrice. What was the last cry for? Why, for that too.
Was the crowd offered him thrice?
Ay, Mary wasn't, but and he put it by thrice every time, gentler than the other, and every putting by, mine honest neighbor shouted.
As you're going through those pieces, like, find emotional beats to connect to, especially if you're not quite sure what you're saying. You know sort of what the through line is and who you are and what you want in this piece. So find those little bits that you can connect to and really tease out.
Not only does he love gossip, right? He just saw something that morally and ideologically he's opposed to.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not even that he wants to keep this secret for Caesar. It's he wants to talk about it. He starts like, well, I don't know, I could be hanged. It was just foolery. I didn't mark. Anyway, dude, okay. I saw Mark Antony offer him the crown. You know?
Yeah.
That's when he breaks.
Yeah. Like listening to Brutus and Cassius, just again, like, have more of a relationship, like have an opinion about each other.
And that can come into play pretty easily from right at the get-go in the first scene, right?
Mhm.
And I love this part where he's like, well, wait, okay, well, they shouted 3 times. What the hell? You're like, and Cask is like, okay, yeah, well, the second time they shouted for the same thing, right? They were super psyched that he turned it down. And then of course Cash is like, I'm sorry, Bruce is like, okay, well, dude, he shouted. There's no way they shouted 3 times for this dude. And Casca's like, way, it totally happened, right? So there's this great opportunity for Brutus to be like, that sucks. It's a great moment for them to come together as friends and share in this sort of shared misery, like stew that they find themselves in.
You know, much like quarantine times.
Yes.
I didn't want to read too much into it in case we were shuffling things around, but now that I'm thinking about it, we're 3, I assume, women speaking 3 dude parts.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want us to think that we're dudes, or do you want us to be kind of different?
No, not necessarily. If you feel masculine energy, go with the masculine energy. If you feel you, yeah.
Shall we run it one more time while we have the
Yeah.
minutes?
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too.
They shouted thrice. What was the last cry for?
Why, for that too.
Was the crown offered him thrice?
Hi, Mary wasn't, and he put it by thrice every time, gentler than the other, and at every putting by, mine honest neighbor shouted.
And after this, let Caesar seat him ashore, for we will shake him, or worse days endure.
I love it.
Yeah, that was already way better.
So much. How did that feel for you guys?
It felt better. It felt more like a conversation with them.
For Brutus, I have a note for you, and this was just something that I was thinking about was, how do you feel about Caesar? Why are you curious?
I think it's like, I'm both curious because like I'm his friend, and also because I'm kind of starting to get the ideas that Cassius is having. So I have those 2 sides to it. Like I'm worried about Caesar.
Okay, so
I also want to hear what's going on.
Help us hear that conflict. I think naturally your energy is very sweet and kind of up and joyful. And so I just want to hear that, like, what is that concern? Yeah, and Nicole, you can have so much fun with that monologue.
Yeah, it's your bad guy monologue.
It really is. This is when we get to see her, like, this is when Ursula becomes Vanessa and she's like...
Even though this is an evil monologue, at the very end, it should be sobering, right? It should be like, yeah, I'm doing this stuff because I don't want a dictatorship. Right. And you as the audience member, you're like, oh, maybe Cassius has a point.
Did we like color coordinate for our team on Saturday?
Oh, I like this.
Look, we're Team Katana, right?
Should I bring a sword?
Yeah, if you have a sword at home, just have it in frame. You know what we should do? We should show up the day of. We should all have swords in frame, and then we just don't address it.
I'm gonna have to green screen one behind me.
And with that, I believe we should send some folks to bed.
Yes. So, sweet dreams.
Yes. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you very much. If you guys have questions, you know how to find us.
Verily and Verily, welcome to this week's Voice Wars Challenge. This week, we gave each of our teams a scene from a Shakespeare play, and they're going to present them to you today. Kaiji, Ratana, how's Team Katana looking so far?
Yeah. In fact, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I believe Team Katana is about to whoop some ass.
Chris, Brad, how does Team Bragliafera fare?
I would say that we are ready to burn some Christmas trees.
I firmly believe we're going to win this week.
Verily! And finally, our guest judge for this week. You may know him as Chloe's dad in both Life is Strange and Miraculous Ladybug. He's also been featured in projects such as Red Dead Redemption, Naruto, Doc McStuffins. He is also the current voice of Jiminy Cricket in Kingdom Hearts 3, Mr. Joe Ochman.
Hi, everybody. It is quite wondrous to be here on this fantastic Shakespearean day or eve.
All right, now let's get this started with Team Katana. Nicole Tuttle, Lily Lammers, and Sarah Blandy with Act 1, Scene 2 of Julius Caesar. Joe Ochman, where shall this play be set?
There's only a couple of obvious choices, and I think in this particular instance, it's the old place.
3, 2, 1, go!
You pulled me by the cloak. Would you speak with me?
Hi, Casca. Tell us what have chanced today. That Caesar looks so sad.
Why, you were with him, were you not?
I should not then ask Casca what had chanced.
Why, there was a crown offered him. And being offered him, he pulled it with the back of his hand thus, and then the people fell a-shouting.
What was that second noise for?
Oh, why for that too?
They shouted thrice. What was the last cry for?
Why for that too?
Was the crown offered him thrice?
Aye, Mary was. And he put it by thrice, every time gentler than the other. And at every putting by, mine honest neighbors shouted.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
Oh, I might as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. It was mere foolery. I did not mark it. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown. Yet 'twas not a crown neither. 'Twas one of these coronets. Anyway, and as I told you, he put it by once. But for all that, to my thinking, he would have fain have had it. Then he offered to him again. Then he put it by again. But to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off of it. Then he offered it the third time. He put it the third time by, and still as he refused it, the rabblemen howled it and clapped their chapped hands and threw up their sweaty nightcaps and uttered such a deal of stinking breath because Caesar refused the crown that it had almost choked Caesar, for he swoundered and fell down at it. And for mine own part, I durst not laugh for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
But softer, I pray you what? Did Caesar swoon?
He fell down in the marketplace, he did, and foamed at the mouth, and was speechless.
'Tis very like he hath the fallen sickness.
No, Caesar hath it not. But you and I, and honest Casca, we have the fallen sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down. If the Tagrag people did not clap him and kiss him according as he pleased and displeased them, as they used to do the players in the theater, I am no true man.
What said he when he came unto himself?
Before he fell down, when he perceived the common herd was glad he refused the crown, he picked up me Opus doublet and offered them his throat to cut. And I had been a man of many occupations. If I would not have taken him at a word, I might go to hell among the rogues. And so he fell. When he came to himself again, he said if he had done or said anything amiss, he desired their worships to think it was his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, "Alas, good soul," and forgave him with all their hearts. But there's no heed to be taken of them. If Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
And after that, he came, the sad, away.
Aye.
Did Cicero say anything?
Aye, he spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Nay, and I tell you that, I'll never look you in the face again. But those that understood him smiled at one another, and shook their heads, and for mine own part, it was Greek to me. I could tell you numbers too. Maurus and Flavius, for pulling scarfs off Caesar's images, are put to silence. There you will. There was more foolery yet, if I could remember it.
Will you sup with me tonight, Casca?
Oh, no, I'm promised forth.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
If I be alive and your mind hold and your dinner worth the eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell both.
What a blunt fellow is this grown to be. He was quick mental when he went to school.
So is he now in execution of any bold or nobler enterprise, however he puts on this tardy form. This rudeness is a sauce to his good wit, which gives men stomach to digest his words with better appetite.
And so it is. For this time I will leave you. But tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, I will come home to you. Or, if you will, come home to me, and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble. Yet I see thy honorable metal may be wrought from that it was disposed. Therefore, it is meet that noble minds keep ever with their likes. For who's so firm that cannot be seduced? Caesar doth bear me hard, but he loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now and he were Cassius, he should not humor me. I will this night, in several hands, in at his windows throw, as if they came from several citizens' writings, all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. And after this let Caesar seat him sure, for we will shake him, or worse days endure.
Yes!
That was awesome. That was so much fun.
That was awesome.
That was incredible.
That was terrific.
Up next, from House Bragliafera, Abbey Veffer, Sean Lazarus, Lisa Marie Lee, and Walt Allen. They will be performing a scene from Twelfth Night, Act 2, Scene 3. Joe Ochman.
Yes!
Where shall the scene be set?
I'm thinking this time it should be a noir genre. I'm thinking we should be in Chicago or some such city in the 40s.
We ready, everybody?
3, 2, 1, go!
My masters, are you mad? Or what are you? Have you no wit, manners, nor honesty, but to gabble like tinkers at this time of night? Do ye make an alehouse of milady's house, that ye squeak out to your coziest catches, without any mitigation or remorse or voice? Is there no respect or place or persons nor time in you?
We did keep time, sir, in our catches. Snack up.
Sir Toby, I must be round with you. My lady bade tell me you that she, though she harbors you as her kinsman, she's nothing allied to your disorders. If you can separate yourself and your misdemeanors, you are welcome to the house. If not, and it would please you to take leave of her, she is very willing to bid you farewell.
Farewell, dear heart, since I must needs be gone.
Sir Toby.
His eyes do show his days are almost done.
Stephen, so?
But I will never die.
Sir Toby, there you lie.
This is much credit to you.
Shall I bid him go?
And what if you do?
Shall I bid him go and spare not?
Oh, no, 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 you dare.
Out of tune,
not.
sir. You lie. Art any more than a steward? Dost thou think because thou art virtuous that shall be no more cakes and ale?
Yes, by Saint Anne, and then ginger shall be hot in the mouth too.
Thou'rt in the right. Go, sir. Rub your chain with crumbs. A stop of wine, Maria.
Mistress Mary, if you'd prized my lady's favorite anything more than contempt, you would not give means for this uncivil rule. She shall know it by this hand.
Go shake your ears.
'Twere as good a deed as to drink when a man's a-hungry, to challenge him the field, and then to break promise with him and make a fool of him.
Do it, knight. I'll write thee a challenge, or I'll deliver thy indignation to him by word of mouth.
Sweet Sir Toby, be patient for tonight. Since the youth of the Count's was today with my lady, she is much out of quiet. For Monsieur Malvolio, let me alone with him. If I do not gull him into an A word and make him a common recreation, do not think I have wit enough to lie straight in my bed. I know I can do it.
Possess us. Possess us. Tell us something of him.
Merry, sir. Sometimes he is a kind of Puritan.
Oh, if I thought of that, I'd beat him like a dog.
What? For being a Puritan? Thy exquisite reason, dear knight.
I have no exquisite reason for it, but I have reason good enough.
The devil a Puritan that he is, or anything constantly but a time pleaser, an affectionate ass that cons state without book, and utters it by great swarths, the best persuaded of himself, so crammed, as he thinks, with excellencies, that it is his grounds of faith that all that look on him love him. And on that vice in him will my revenge find notable cause to work.
What wilt thou do?
I will drop in his way some obscure epistles of love, wherein by the color of his beard, the shape of his leg, the manner of his gait, the expression of his eye, forehead, and complexion, he shall find himself most feelingly personated. I can write with very like my lady, your niece. On a forgotten manner, we can hardly make distinction of our hands.
Excellent. I smell a device.
I have it in my nose too.
He shall think by the letters that thou wilt drop that they come from my niece and that she's in love with him.
My purpose is indeed a horse of that color.
And your horse now would make him an ass.
Ass, I doubt not.
Oh, 'twill be admirable.
Sport royal, I warn you. I know my physic will work with him. I will plant you two, and let the fool make a third, where he shall find the letter. Observe his construction of it. For this night, to bed, and dream on the event. Farewell.
Good night, Pinthless.
Before me, she's a good wench.
She's a beagle tree bred, and one that adores me. What of that?
I was adored once, too.
Let's to bed, knight. Thou hadst need send for more money.
If I cannot recover your niece, I am a foul way out.
Send for more money, knight. If thou hast her not in the end, call me cut.
If I do not, never trust me. Take it how you will.
Come, I'll go burn some sack. 'Tis too late to go to bed now. Come, knight. Come, knight.
Yay! Woo! Excellent.
So after all of that, it is time for the judges' critiques. First up, Team Katana.
I loved how you played the drama and found the comedy.
Casca, bravo. I know that takes a lot of stamina to get through. Casca has a big meaty part in there, full of monologuing, and I thought You carried the new accent through very well. The storytelling beats were very crisp and clear.
You didn't overpower the scene because I mean, it's, you know, you could have went really, really Old West with it, and then it's like it takes us out of it because it's just so thick. But you used it as salt. I mean, it made the entire scene. I mean, it's Shakespeare, so you can't really improve on that. But it was really fun with it.
You guys had a very, very good time of getting that right where it needs to, even though that, you know, it's like square peg, diamond hole. Okay, well, let's just make that slight adjustment, and it works perfectly.
First off, just to everybody, really exceptional acting in general. Taking the material and making it understandable, making it clear, making it crisp in the best ways of Shakespearean acting. What was so cool about what you guys did, and Sarah, you had the lion's share, and yay you set a tone, and Nicole and Lily, you just jumped in and matched the tone so that you guys were working as a seamless unit.
Team Bragliafera.
I'm just curious, like, how much familiarity you have with film noir, because I think what I was missing was the sense of place as a general note.
Yeah.
To the team's credit, though, this was an incredibly difficult choice to make, specifically on the scene they did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their scene is a comedy. For what it was, you know, I thought they did pretty good, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw the smoking, you know, I
Yep.
saw them trying to introduce these elements in. It's hard. That's a very hard curveball. So kudos for even attempting.
If you're not 100% sure on a direction, feel free to ask a question like, oh, like if you weren't 100% sure with film noir, and then we can kind of help you with that.
We can nudge you in a way where you're not just shooting in the dark.
Team Bragliafera, I just love saying Team Bragliafera. I think I may say it many times after I'm gone. I do disagree. I think that noir was a really good fit for this scene. The singing thing is the Smoky Jazz Club in a noir movie. Sean's opening monologue, he talks about midnight and all this stuff. It fits right into that kind of noir, sort of Bogarty kind of feel. Walt, I thought there was a point toward the end where you almost started going Sidney Green Street, which if you had done it in the beginning, a drunk Sidney Green Street, if you know who that is, if you've watched Maltese Falcon, if you had been able to click into that quickly, you really had something, and you sort of started finding it at the end. Lisa Marie, I have to give you credit for adding a smokiness to what you were doing. Once again, great acting all around, everybody.
And now comes the fun part. The judges...
Wait a minute, didn't we just have the fun part?
The judges will now select this week's winner and our bottom two competitors. As a reminder, if you win this week, you get immunity from elimination next week. And as last week's winner, Lisa Marie Lee is safe from elimination this week.
Helps with thinking ahead and do this right.
The winner of the Shakespearean challenge is Sarah Blandy.
Hey.
Huzzah! Huzzah!
Team Katana. Team Katana.
Now the judges must select their bottom two competitors.
Aiden, can we keep them all, please?
Yeah, I got it figured out. Lisa Marie, you were the worst this week. That's it to say.
Fine, Brad.
Our bottom two competitors this week are Sean Lazarus and Nicole Tuttle. Sean, do you want to call heads or tails?
Heads.
It is heads. Do you wish to go first or second?
I'll go first because I can go to the bathroom.
Okay. This week's monologue is from Steven Universe the movie.
Can I sing this monologue?
3, 2, 1, go.
Just can it, won't ya? Yeah! You can't just make everything better by singing some stupid song!
All that stuff's easy for you to say. When you change for the better. When I change for the worse.
I used to be just not good enough.
Just not good enough for Pink, but now, I'm not good at all.
It's funny, right?
least you found me entertaining. You actually liked me, didn't you?
What am I doing? Why do I want to hurt you so bad? I'm supposed to be a friend. I just want to be a friend.
The votes are in. Nicole Tuttle, you're safe. Sean Lazarus, as our first ever Voice Wars winner, you have always been a champion, and you will continue to be a champion in whatever you do. And I applaud you for the work that you have brought here. Well, that's it for this week's episode. Thank you so much, everybody, and good night!
Unbeknownst to me, I found out that I've basically started going right into bronchitis right at the start of like that week's stuff. I don't feel that any of the competition did bad because they're all great, and I actually really want to hear more from some of them. Like specifically, it's great, but it's a sad feeling when like you know that physically you weren't in the right spot to compete in that moment. I really like to start once my health gets back. I'm going to be working more on YouTube, Twitch, throwing out more voice acting auditions, and I've got a bunch of other projects I'm still working on right now, website stuff. So I'm doing a lot of things.
Yes.
Oh
my God.
There we go.
There
we go.
The camera does the
Whoa.
rotoscoping
Excellent.
for us. I love it. Is that a
What's going
Galaxy's Edge saber?
No, it's actually Saber Forge.
Okay, cool.
I have Galaxy's Edge too. I have the Ahsoka ones.